If life is to be peaceful, happy, and satisfied, the mankind has to live in tune with nature. I, Dr. Mrinalini Lakhe, welcome you in the series of environmental studies. Today we are facing grave environmental issues like greenhouse effect, global warming, climate change, acid rain, ozone layer depletion, and nuclear accidents. This video is about greenhouse effect, global warming, and climate change. Greenhouse effect is the warming of Earth's surface and atmosphere caused by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, nitrous oxide, ozone, etc. Most of the incoming sunlight is absorbed by the surface and heats the surface. As Earth's surface is heated, it radiates infrared radiations. Some IR radiations are absorbed by the greenhouse gases, especially water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. IR radiations are then re-radiated in all directions from greenhouse gases. In this way, Earth's temperature increases. This phenomena is called greenhouse effect. Human activities are causing the rapid increase in the amounts of 30 greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide is produced by fossil fuel burning. Excessive burning of fossil fuel releases huge amount of carbon dioxide, which leads to global warming. Fossil fuels are burnt in thermal power plant, automobiles, cooking, etc. Carbon dioxide is also produced in other industrial activities such as cement production. Carbon dioxide level increases due to tropical deforestation, means due to decrease in forest area across the world. It is also produced by respiration of living organisms. Natural processes like volcano eruptions and earthquake-induced fire. Methane is released from garbage dump, human and animal waste, and swamps. Water vapor, nitrous oxide, ozone, CFC, etc. also contribute to the warming of Earth. Do you know greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomena? So then, is the greenhouse effect bad? Without these greenhouse gases, the Earth would be far colder, largely covered in ice. The average temperature of Earth's surface would be about minus 18 degrees centigrade rather than the present average of 15 degrees centigrade. Greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomena. Carbon dioxide and other gases let the radiation from the sun reach the Earth, but prevent some of the heat from being reflected, and in this way maintain the temperature of Earth, which is necessary for sustenance of life. So, greenhouse effect is not always bad, rather it sustains life. But too much greenhouse gases can heat up the earth too fast and results in the global warming. Problem comes when the amount of gases exceeds the limit. The rapid and unnatural warming of the earth is called global warming. Consequences of the greenhouse effect and global warming are more evaporation of water from water bodies, more cloud formation, changes in pattern of rainfall, changing climate, flooding, disruption in farming. Global warming affects world food production and biological productivity. Some other consequences of greenhouse effect and global warming are more heat waves, drought, natural fire in forest, expansion of desert area, rise in sea level and submergence of low-lying coastal areas due to melting of glaciers. To get a glimpse of the effects of global warming on Tuvalu, an island nation, you can check out my previous video. I have shared its link in the description box. Global warming is likely to have a wide variety of effects on climate, ocean and coast, glaciers and ice caps, water, agriculture and food, animal and plant species. Now, let's talk about the global warming potential. If methane has a global warming potential of 21, it means that 1 kg of methane has the same impact on climate change as 21 kg of carbon dioxide. Thus, 1 kg of methane would count as 21 kg of carbon dioxide equivalent. So, GWP of methane is 21. So, global warming potential is the total contribution to global warming resulting from the emission of 1 unit of that gas relative to 1 unit of the reference gas, carbon dioxide, which is assigned a value of 1. So, global warming potential of carbon dioxide is 1 and methane is 21. 1 kg of nitrous oxide has same impact on climate as 296 kg of carbon dioxide, and that's why global warming potential of nitrous oxide is 296. Global warming potential of fluorocarbon is between 120 to 12,000. Global warming potential of chlorofluorocarbon is between 5,700 to 11,900. GWP of sulfur hexafluoride is 22,200. Means 1 kg of sulfur hexafluoride has same impact on climate as 22,200 kg of carbon dioxide. How do we know our contribution to the greenhouse effect? We use carbon footprint to do this. You all must have read the term carbon footprint in the articles or blogs in the newspaper or on the internet. So what exactly is carbon footprint? Carbon footprint is the total greenhouse gas emissions caused directly and indirectly by a person, organization, event, product or country, expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. It calculates the greenhouse gases we are expected to produce in all our activities and measures them in units of carbon dioxide. Carbon footprint is measured in tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. The footprint of a country does not just measure emissions that occur on its territory. It includes emissions that occur in the production of all goods and services consumed in a country. The world average is about 4 tons of carbon dioxide per person per year. In fact, you can also measure your own carbon footprint contributed by your daily activities such as fuel and electricity consumption, waste you produce every day, as well as use of products like clothes, food, furniture, paper-based products, deodorants, perfumes, etc. There are many carbon footprint calculators available online. Why don't you calculate yours and comment in the comment box below? So, what is being done to reduce carbon footprint? Many countries decided to meet and tackle this together. Some of these summits are Kyoto Protocol and Copenhagen Accord. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement that aims to manage and reduce carbon dioxide emissions and greenhouse gases. The protocol was adopted at a conference in Kyoto, Japan in 1997 and became international law on February 16, 2005. The objective is to reduce greenhouse emissions by about 5% below year 1990 levels. The Kyoto Protocol applies to the 6 greenhouse gases: carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride. The Kyoto Protocol was a welcome agreement to cut greenhouse gas emissions, but the targets set were inadequate and even those targets were not met. With the Kyoto Protocol set to expire in 2012, the UNFCCC conference in Copenhagen in 2009 was expected to come up with a better argument. The Copenhagen Accord is a document of the Conference of the Parties on its 15th session held in Copenhagen from 7th to 19 December 2009 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. At the conference, the focus was on ethics and justice aspects of climate change and adaptation needs. The conference attracted unprecedented participation, attendance by 120 heads of state, including US President Obama and Indian PM Manmohan Singh. Record numbers of participants, including 10,500 delegates and 13,500 observers. The accord included the following: setting of long-term goal to limit global average temperature increase to 1.5 to 2 degrees centigrade. Countries asked to set voluntary targets for emission reduction. Raise 10,000 billion US dollar a year by 2020 for poor nations. The accord has been widely criticized as a failure of global leadership. What is the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change? UNFCCC. The UNFCCC entered into force on 21st March 1994. Today, it has near universal membership. The 197 countries that have ratified the convention are called parties of the convention. The ultimate aim of the UNFCCC is to prevent dangerous human interference with the climate system. What can we do to prevent global warming? Reduce the amount of energy we use, vehicles with better gas mileage, energy efficient appliances, turning off electrical appliances when not in use, reduction in consumption of fossil fuel, and use sources of energy that do not emit carbon dioxide. For example, solar energy, hydrogen as a fuel, wind energy, nuclear power, and increasing forest cover. I hope each one of us will work towards reducing our carbon footprint and global warming. Thanks for watching the video till end.